Welcome to Love Lies in the Truth. Today's topic, cultivating fidelity.
What does fidelity look like? And the micro actions that we do and don't do to cultivate.
Yeah, micro actions, micro thoughts, just micro behaviors, things that, small steps that on their own may seem like nothing, but, taken in sequence may lead you to a place you said you'd never go,
Mm.
right?
Well, right. I mean, it begins with, I think at the beginning, like the reason why I brought this up, what I was thinking of was that even when I'm out and about and I'm walking around and just going about my life. So we're in a long distance relationship.
So far.
So far, for now, for meow. And you're always with me, right? So you're always with me. You're in my heart, you're in my mind. And I act as if you are there with me. So meaning that, the conversations that I now have with men are different. I don't do anything that I wouldn't be comfortable doing if you were there. Like, I don't. So in that regard, it's like those micro actions or even thoughts. We were also talking about fantasies
Hmm,
and those types of things, right? So if I see an attractive guy, I can be like, oh, that's an attractive guy, but I don't allow myself the thoughts of like, what would it be like to fuck that guy? Or,
sure.
what would it be like to, have that man? Those things don't enter my mind. They didn't really enter my mind too much before either, but it's
Hmm,
a different feeling in the beginning of relationships. Like, you don't really want that, but even when you see someone that's like smoking hot, I could be like, "Oh, that's a smoking hot person." And that's it. That's where it ends. Like
hmm.
I don't get lost in it and I don't think about it and I don't put it in the spank bank and I don't,
Sure, it doesn't
I
turn
don't
into an ongoing fantasy that
right.
you dwell on.
Right.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
woman too. So I think it's different for women than it is for men. So, I mean, how is it for you?
I think it can be, and I'm thinking of two examples, right? One of which is myself, right? Where more I also conduct myself as if you were standing right next to me, right? Because that's what feels the most right to me. That is what I choose, right? And also, yeah, the same example as you just described. It's like, sure, I'm literally surrounded by pretty girls. I see them every day, and it never turns into a fantasy. It's
Mm.
like I'll go out with my buddies, or I'll just be grocery shopping or whatever. And sure, I see them. I
Well,
see
of
them.
course. I mean, we have eyes,
I have
right?
eyes. I'm a man, and
Right.
they do tend to light up my masculinity,
Hmm.
right? As they should.
Mhm.
That's what the design is all about, right? Like the attraction is there. So like my appreciation for what I see is just that. And it doesn't, as your example went, like it doesn't turn into a fantasy. It doesn't turn into a longing. It doesn't turn into anything that I kind of keep in my head. It's just like, wow, look at her. And then where's the shreddies? It's just like whatever. I appreciate it in the moment,
Mhm.
appreciate it for what it is,
Mhm.
and that's all it ever is for me now, right?
Yeah.
That's one example that I was thinking of, and that's if I'm honest, you may be the first woman that I've ever behaved that way with or thought that way with,
Hmm.
right? Because I'm not searching for myself anymore. I'm not searching for validation anymore. I'm not hunting for better options. I'm not wishing for something else. I'm not looking elsewhere. I'm in love with you. And it's really transformed the way that I think and the way that I conduct myself in the world. The other example that I was thinking of is something that I mentioned to you before, which was a friend of mine who is a man who's been married for quite a while, and certainly he's not too happy in his marriage, right? His wife is quite different in like her personality, the things that she wants from life. Like she's not really the way he describes it. She's not ambitious. She just wants a simple, quiet life, and he wants more. And he has had to go out on his own to get more. And he feels very unsupported a lot by her, and he and I were having the conversation of like, as men, how do you manage looking at pretty girls. His position is that you can't, you're married and then somehow you have to turn it all off, or you're looking at pretty girls and desiring them. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
that was his point. That's the thing that he couldn't reconcile within himself. He would look at any given pretty girl and it would create the desire. It would create the fantasy. He'd want to go talk to her. He'd want to pursue her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he didn't think it could be any other way.
That's interesting.
Well, yeah, that's
Huh.
where he and I were
Yeah.
like debating, I want to
Mm.
use the word arguing, but it wasn't an argument. It was just like we see things differently,
Yeah.
right? He sees his mindset and his model, and he imagines that every man in the world thinks that way and doesn't know how it could be any different, right?
Well, a lot of men, I think, do think that way, or at
Sure.
least that's the experience that I've had. Like in, like, I'm a good-looking woman. I know what I look like. I know how to make it look good. I do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in relationships where it was like, why are you flirting with these women? Like, and if everybody's different. Like, if that's something that is okay in a relationship that two people talked
Sure.
about, whatever. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it wasn't okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't okay if I would do it either.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like this double standard, and there would be these, micro movements behind my back. Well, I'm just sending a message, but it would be flirty. And then like I'm like, I don't think I like that. Or the heart emojis on the half naked pictures of, and
Sure.
the wow, you're so hot kind of comments. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, but not giving that attention to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that to me is like, if you're not giving that attention to your partner, why are you in that partnership with them? Why are
Sure.
you in that relationship with them? Like, for me, it's like, I wanna look good, not only for me, but I wanna look good for you.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm walking and I've even, like, if I'm staying with you for a few days and, like, I could easily not have the makeup on and, like, have my hair up in, like, a messy
Sure.
ponytail and, like, it's fun and it's cute. But after, like, a couple of days, I'm like, "I need to put a little bit of makeup on." Like, I wanna wake up, I wanna feel fresh, I wanna feel good,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanna look good for you. And so
Yeah.
I don't wanna just let myself go. I wanna be beautiful. I wanna look feminine. I wanna, look good for my partner. I want my partner to be as attracted to me in these everyday ordinary moments as I want my partner to be attracted to me when you first meet me. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
you can't
think
you can't you can't consistently let yourself go, so to speak.
yeah,
You can't hang out in your jammies all day
every
and
day.
with messy hair
Mhm.
and expect your partner to lust after you,
Right.
every day, cuz like the disparity between the world full of pretty girls who
Mhm.
are not slobbing around in their PJs
At least not in the moment when you see them,
yeah, well, sure.
right?
Exactly.
Because they are.
It becomes it forces a comparison, doesn't it?
Mhm. Oh, of course. I wanna look good for me because I believe, that beauty is a frequency, right? It's a certain level of energy, elevated level of energy, and I was, a makeup artist for professional artist for 30 years, and so I get those things, but it's more like as a form of self-care and me taking care of myself and being ready for the day. Like when I put my makeup on and I get my hair done, I'm ready for the day, and it actually wakes me up. And I want to look good for my partner. And if my partner is never going to acknowledge
Mhm.
the work that I have done, then why would I want to continue to do that for my partner? Like, for example, when it was your birthday, what did I do? And what did I ask you for your birthday?
Well, you asked me what I wanted you to wear for one thing.
Mhm. Yep, I sure
You
did.
you took the time, and I very much enjoyed the things that you wore.
Mhm.
Indeed. And yeah, you took the time to do your hair real nice and do the makeup. You took the time to make yourself as lovely as possible for me on my birthday,
Yeah, and this
which was
yeah,
great, and I appreciated that and I acknowledged that.
and I loved that you acknowledged that. So that was the whole point was I'm not gonna wear something that I don't wanna wear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna wear an outfit that I'm not comfortable with wearing.
Sure.
So I'm like, I went shopping and sent you some pictures and said, "Do you like this?" And you're like, "Oh, I like that." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get this then because I like it and you like it."
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just those little flirtations and like those micro movements of the flirtations throughout the day, the text messages that you send to your partner, the getting ready and taking care of yourself. And believe me, you take care of yourself too. I mean, like you take care of your
Yeah.
beard and I love the way it smells. And oh my God, it's so good.
Well, I was
And,
going to say it has to be a back and forth. It has to be a give and
sure.
take.
Hmm.
It can't just be one person doing all the effort. And
Yes.
I took the time to learn things about you, about what you like. I know that you like a little praise now and then.
Hmm.
So I make a point of giving you that praise and making you smile and showing you that I appreciate the way that you look, the way that you carry yourself. I also have it in mind to
Of
compliment you
course.
for making a really smart decision or doing something really competent in some situation, or, I do my best to acknowledge all the things that you are, not just the fact that you're beautiful.
This isn't just about what we look like.
Hmm.
This is about like nurturing oneself in their interests, in their minds, and their spirituality, and all of the things. Like I write poetry, and you compliment me on that poetry. And it's not that I'm not trying to get compliments. I'm not trying to get validation from you. I just share things that I
Hmm.
love and that I'm interested in. And you take the time to sit with it and revere it and give it the respect that it deserves because it's something that I love to do. When I write poetry and I send it to you, and even if it's not about you, I mean, you acknowledge it. I'm like, "Hey, look, I did this thing." And you were like, "Let me give it the attention that it deserves." And so anytime that you are doing something that you're interested in or you find interesting when it comes to the work that you do through Brothers and Kings and all with the men's work and through Sterling Matchmakers and like all of those things, plug, right?
Good job.
Plug in.
Good
Thanks.
job, baby.
You're welcome. I support you, right? But when it comes to our individual, like when two people get together and they start to fall in love, you fall in love with the individual that they've cultivated and who they are and knowing themselves, right? As we get into relationship and you start building this third thing that is the relationship, some folks, and I've done this before, where I would forget where I was and who I was and not have my individuality and start
Mm,
losing myself in that third thing.
sure.
And so everything that I was doing was reliant or codependent at that time on where my partner was with it. Like, am I getting the compliments? Am I getting the validation? Am I getting the attention? But when you're in a healthy relationship, supporting the individuality of your partner is incredibly important, as well as maintaining your own individuality as you're both building this third thing
Mm,
that is the partnership, that is the union, but, like, having the partnership and blending things together doesn't mean that you can't have your own individuality. I think that that's why some people stray in relationships is because are beginning to lose themselves, and they're looking at outside resources to feel some kind of a sense of identity that is a little bit separate from
mm,
this entity over here, or why some people, maybe get lost in their jobs or get lost in whatever other distractions that they could get into that they're not contributing to the union itself.
sure. I think it can definitely be that. Lots of other
Sure.
reasons too, of course. And when you began talking about that, you said something about falling in when you fall in love with the person, right? For everything that they are. The question that came to me was like, have you fallen, and not talking about us, of course, but have you, and the everyman, have you actually seen the person that you've fallen in love with? Have you fallen in love with their heart, their soul, their character, or have you fallen in love with the pretty girl? And
Mm,
do you really know who she is?
mhm.
And if you've from your earlier examples, if you've married the pretty girl, are you suddenly bored because you've
Mm.
you've kind of you've landed that fish? Now let me go fishing for some more.
Well, I've been that fish. I've been the pretty girl or the trophy.
Hmm.
And you can tell when that's happening, right? Like, I mean, you can't really tell at first, actually, quite honestly, because, and that's probably a whole other topic that we can talk about, but you can't really tell at first because it's like, oh, wow, this guy's like really into me and it's cool. And then they can, whatever they
Sure.
do to pretend that they're interested in the things that you're interested in. Um, and then they get you. And then other women see that he is a hot woman with him. And they're like, ooh, because like some women be like that, right? Some women be like that. So, yeah. And then what happens is I'm bored, I'm done. If I can get this hot one, let me see if I can get these other. And I'm not even like assuming. These are conversations that I've had with men that would tell me that these are things that had happened in these either past relationships with other women or even people that I have been in a relationship with, that I was like, tell me what happened like years down the line. Like, what the hell? But to get back to like the micro movements,
Micro movements, micro behaviors.
yeah, the cheating starts being set up before the actual physical cheating
Sure.
actually happens. All of these different movements of what am I doing to cultivate this relationship? What am I doing to cultivate the sanctity of this relationship? When you and I got serious, which was pretty fast, that we because we both knew what we wanted and we were like, all right, well, let's do this. All my dynamics with all the men in my life start changing. Like I have conversations with them like as if you're in the room.
Sure.
And if you are not comfortable, if I think that I wouldn't be comfortable with you hearing what I'm saying, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going
Hmm.
to act it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be it because I want you with me always. I think it's like, and even if I'm flirting with the thoughts of other people, you're going to feel that in me. You're going to feel the disconnect. I mean, I can't tell you how many times like you're incredibly intuitive as a man, and women have that energetic intuition, and that's why a lot
Hmm.
of women come off as, and this is just based on like the women that I know and the conversations that I've had in the 50 plus years that I've been alive, is that they can feel when their partner's not present when
Sure.
they are with them. So if your mind's wandering and you're thinking about specific women while you're with me, I'm going to feel that on some level, and
Hmm.
vice versa. If I am thinking about another man while being with you, which I've never have, honestly, right? So,
I believe you.
yeah, right, exactly, because I am 100% present
Hmm.
with you and you can feel that. And I think that even just that micro thoughts of how am I being present with my partner and how am I just trying to get off,
Hmm.
or am I actually cultivating that connection
Yeah.
and the experience of truly being with my partner in a way that's spiritual?
Yeah. If you are aware enough to look at it, first of all,
Mm,
and strong enough to be honest with yourself
yeah.
about what you see or what you feel, if you're not really cultivating a heartfelt solid relationship with your partner,
Right. Right.
what's missing? What is it that you want?
Mhm.
And how far, how many steps, how many micro actions are you going to allow before you do something about it?
Well, right. And what were you doing when you first started dating? Were you flirting? Were you sexting a little bit? Were you trying to like build up the tension and the fun and the chemistry? Like, are you checking in with them and being like, where are you at? How was your day? And are you only thinking about your damn self? Like, can you just take a second to give a shit about your partner? And what they're doing, the whole day didn't just exist for you. The whole day didn't just exist for me. Like, how was your fucking day?
Yeah,
Like,
I
sweet Jesus.
I totally agree with you, and I imagine that even that is tough for
Sure.
a high percentage of people. They're just not even thinking. Tough in the sense that the world revolves around them because that's their mindset, that's their habit.
If I'm in the mindset where I'm only thinking about myself, I have no business trying to be in a relationship and drag somebody else into my shit. I mean, that's kind of how it is. I was willing to be in a relationship because I wanted to be open to being in a relationship. Now, it doesn't mean
Mhm.
that I was on the hunt for it, because I was not. I wasn't desperate to seek it. I was completely fine being on my own. But of course, I was open and I wanted that to happen because I have so much love to give and I would love to be able to share that
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share that with somebody else, and you came
Same.
along, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quality man right here.
Mm-hmm.
He did the work. Yeah.
You and I have done a lot of work
Yeah.
on ourselves,
Yes.
right? You and I are pretty clear about who we are and what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so far we've been working together amazingly well. I absolutely adore you.
Mm.
And I wonder if you are a person who is not there,
Mm.
where do we open the door? Where do we begin to see to get the awareness? Where at what point do we finally take personal accountability for the state of our lives, right? If you're making these micro steps and allowing yourself to follow a logical path, and I described the steps before, and this is something that I get from psychology. There's a term for it. There's a psychological term for this exact behavior, but it is basically, you will say to yourself, let's use us as an example, right? I know for a fact that I don't want to cheat on you. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
step outside of our relationship.
Good. I support that.
But in this hypothetical situation, I might allow myself to be a little flirty with some other girl that I know, because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what's the harm in that? It's just a little friendly, harmless flirtation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that becomes okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, maybe I'll just stand, maybe I'll touch her shoulder, maybe I'll just, stand a
Mm-hmm.
little closer to her. What's the
Mm-hmm.
harm? Right? We're not fucking or anything.
Right.
It's not a big deal,
Yeah.
right? And that's two steps now.
Right.
And I've rationalized it away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just have lunch with her. What's the big deal? It's just lunch. Friends can have lunch, right?
Sure.
No problem.
Yeah, friends.
And every step
Lunch.
along the way is just one small step. And each small step, you can rationalize it away. You can justify it. You can say it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I did that all the time before, right? So I know it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I mean when we talk about micro actions, right? It's one small step in a direction that you said you weren't going to go in, but
Mm-hmm.
before you really know it, you've rationalized a path that takes you exactly to that place that you actually do want to go, but you don't want to admit it.
Yep. Well, the key point, like you said, is knowing yourself and knowing where those limits are. Like, I have a few male friends that I could hang out with one on one. First of all, you would know about it if I did. Second, you know them,
Mm,
right?
yep.
And third, you trust me to know full well that I am not going to act like you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to act as if you're sitting right the fuck here.
Sure.
That's how I'm going to act,
Yeah.
because you are with me all the time. I think that if somebody is not aware,
Mm,
hopefully this conversation will help somebody be aware. Because I mean, that's what we're doing, right? Love lies in the truth is like, we know how to lie to ourselves.
yep.
We've all been there. I never cheated on somebody, but I sure as shit would like end the relationship to
Mm,
go be with somebody that I wanted to be with.
okay.
Right? Like, I've
Sure.
done that, which is it better or what? I don't know. Like, probably, I guess. I don't know. I
It's a
always
little better.
a little, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't doing those micro movements.
Mm,
Before that, I just didn't do the deed in case you needed a
such
visual.
a thanks.
I'm such
Mm-hmm.
a I'm such a lady. I didn't do the deed. If I wanted to edit out the hand movements. I don't know, maybe that should be our cover
I
photo.
think it should be. That's they're
It's the
saying me doing
thumbnail.
this.
Both of us. Anyway. But I still did all those micro movements, and I did all those micro movements leading up to that, to the point where I'm like, I'm going to go do this thing. So I'm going to end this relationship before I do that thing. But it doesn't mean that I didn't do all these other things that were these micro movements before
Sure.
that.
You'd already checked out of your
Yeah.
outgoing relationship, and you were
Yes.
already invested emotionally into your what would be the new relationship.
Yeah. I'm not saying like there's been a couple of times where, and especially like when you're new in a relationship and you don't know who this other person's like actual friends are,
Mm,
you know? So when they're like, I'm gonna go out and hang out with this woman, and I'm like, well, who the fuck is that? Like, you know, I don't know you. So like, I don't know her. And like, what is the things, right?
mm.
And, but then it's like, okay, I'm choosing to trust him. And you like would send me pictures and like
Well,
show me
yeah.
like when you were like thinking of me, and I'm like, okay, cool. All right, great. Was I insecure? No.
Mm,
Did I not trust you? No.
mm-hmm.
Was there old stuff that I had to deal with that
Mm,
was coming up? Like, right? To
sure.
reiterate from episode 1?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Of course there was.
Mm,
I'm like, my brain is like, who this bitch? Who's
yeah.
she? Who's she to you? Did you
Well,
fuck her at one point? Are you gonna fuck her again? Are you thinking about fucking her? And then when we're together, are you thinking about her?
mm,
Like, these things go through a woman's mind,
sure.
and I'm sure probably some men's minds too. These things go through people's minds, and you're present in the relationship, and I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So over periods of time, when you're together for so long,
5 months now.
5 months,
Yeah.
but when you repeatedly show up and and you show me, and this isn't like an ongoing thing that happens all the time. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. But that's why
that's yeah,
I made a point of just being straight up about it.
yeah,
I'm going to
of
have
course,
dinner with my friend. We're going to hang out a little bit. I gave it context. I shared
yep,
photos with you.
yep.
Yeah, and I chatted. I think I chatted with you, like texted, kind of in the
Yeah,
middle
you
of it.
texted with me, yeah, in
So
the
it's
middle of it,
like,
yeah,
I did, everything that I could. And I don't want to overstate it, because it wasn't like, it didn't feel like a big deal,
it
right?
wasn't a big deal.
I didn't make a tremendous effort to kind of assuage your any worries you may have or calm your
God,
nerves.
no.
I'm just like, listen, here's what it is.
Yeah,
It's a
and I
person
didn't
I've been
have,
friends with for years,
yeah,
and that's what it is. And just that simple, just the transparency, it's really all it was. It's
sure,
transparency.
yep,
This is what's happening.
mhm.
And I wasn't like, is it okay, can I do this,
God, no.
right?
Well, no, I that shouldn't even be a dynamic, I think, at all in a
Mm,
relationship. Can I do this? Can I go hang out with a friend? Fuck that. If they're your friend, like, I mean, I have two male friends that I really hang out with that I absolutely love and adore, and they are some of the closest people to me. I'll always be transparent.
hmm
I'm like, "Oh, hey, here you go. Here's the thing. So and so says hi. Oh, hey, look what we're doing." Like
yeah.
and it wasn't like, I mean, first of all, I never asked
hmm
for any
Permission.
documentation about what you were doing when you were out with your friend. And
Sure.
I never asked permission to hang out with my friend either. Like, I'm not here to keep you from having any kind of friends. Like,
mm.
have your own fucking life, like, cause I got mine. The point is that when I am hanging out with my male friends or any of my friends,
hmm
I am still acting as if you are in the room with me. And so I am not going to say or do anything that I would feel would not be a comfortable conversation to have with you around. I tell you everything. We
yeah.
tell each other everything.
Yep. And I think that goes
Yeah.
along. I'm sure, I know that goes a long way, because in this moment of our conversation right now, I'm
Mhm.
thinking about micro actions that you might take, or that, let's say, a woman might take, because I'm going to just say, typically women may be thinking things around in circles a lot more than men. Women typically, generally, may be kind of looking for clues and
Mm,
implications,
sure.
that honestly most of the times are not there. Men are pretty simple creatures.
Mm,
We say what we mean.
mhm.
And generally women might still kind of look for things in those simple statements. But the point of what I'm saying is that with the transparency, right, with the straightforward honesty,
Mhm.
it mitigates the possibility of you reacting and taking micro steps, in a direction or away from me, or
Mm,
away from trust,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
that I have no control over, really. But if I'm acting even 5% sketchy, you're going to pick up on that, and it's going to start the
Yeah.
wheels turning.
Mhm.
So let me just be as fucking straightforward and clear and transparent as possible.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. Transparency goes such a long way. Being honest with your partner goes such a long way. Why wouldn't you want to be honest with your partner? Like why wouldn't you unless like you about to be doing some sketch ass shit,
Well, sure. In an
right?
ideal world, you'd always be honest with your partner. But if you're dealing with shame and dealing with fear, and if you're keeping secrets and all of that, then that's a whole other realm where you're
And
not
if you're in a relationship, I'm sorry to like cut you off, but like if you're
sure.
in a relationship with somebody who has a lot of insecurities and has a lot of fear, then what are you doing to show up for that person in those moments where
Hmm.
they are feeling insecure? I'm not saying you're responsible for their healing. You're not. They are 100% have to take responsibility for their healing
Hmm.
and not go off the rails because of their old traumas. Hence, see episode 1. So, if you're triggered, and this is generally the dynamic of like women, but not always, because I've been with very traumatized men that
Sure.
would do the same thing and have like these crazy jealousy tangents. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? I already told you what's going on. If you're triggered, then you need to go heal yourself. If your partner's being completely transparent with you, and that's going to be up to the dynamic between those two people, but ultimately, like if you're with somebody that is super jealous or super afraid or super triggered, then why are they? And if that's all their own shit, how are you showing up? Like, so for example, I could easily, like, I've done all the work within myself and I was fine to be with myself. And there are moments that happened between us where I would get afraid and old traumas, like those deeper layers that I, thought I healed, and I did,
Sure.
and I knew myself well enough to know like, okay, this isn't you doing this. This is old stuff for me that's coming up for me. And what did you do? You stopped what you were doing and you were there for me. And you didn't even try to fix anything. You were just present. And it's that presence and that, like, are you being solid? You don't have to try to fix it, but are you present? Are you allowing this person that's in your life to actually feel what they're going to feel? Now, I never took anything out on you,
Yep.
nor made you feel like you were the bad guy or that you were actually doing this to me.
Mm.
I've done that in the past. I've done that in relationships where I've had past traumas and I would take it out on the partner.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That's the shit that I would do wrong, you
And
know?
in that example, the beautiful thing about being honest, as simple
Mm,
and fucking obvious as it sounds, the beautiful thing about being honest, being transparent,
mm,
and really knowing yourself
mm,
is I could remain calm if you were for sake of argument, if you were having a freak out over some shit that I knew was not my problem
mm.
or not my doing,
Yeah.
because I've done the fucking work, because I know who I am, because I know where my boundaries are, and I'll take a step back. I love you. I'll give you the space to run rampant and do whatever it is you're going to do. And then when the storm's blown over, we can re-engage in conversation.
Yeah.
Right. I won't take it personally. I'll just be like, whoa, what the fuck's happening here? I might not like it. I might start to question, why am I with this woman if she's going to freak out like this over some shit? And how many of these freakouts am I gonna sit
Right.
for before I'm like, nah, I'm out.
Right.
Right.
And what is she doing during these freakouts? Like, is she I'm not the kind of person to even like fly off the handle and be like, the freak out
Sure.
is on the inside. On the outside, I just look like, Yeah, and so what are we doing to show, what do people do to show up for their partners to let them know that like you're in this with them, Are you taking care of yourself? Are you trying to look good for your partner? Are you making time for date nights? Are you setting time aside just for the two of you? And I know life gets busy. I know careers get in the way. I hid in my career for a very long time. I'm sure that children get in the way because I hear it all the time. I people come to me for advice with skincare and beauty, and they're like, "No, obviously you don't have children. You can do that." Yeah, you're right, bitch. I don't have children. Like, but like, are you going to take care of yourself? Do at least one of these things. Like, do something for yourself. And then as the partner, like, are you allowing your partner the time and the energy to take care of themselves?
Mm.
Are you giving them the space and the support that they need? Like, hey, babe, did you go get that facial that you've been talking about that you wanted? You know what? Hey, how about I went and booked that for you? Now, I understand money can be tight, but like maybe you can like throw the kids at a babysitter or whatever. Sorry.
As you would.
As you would. If you got somebody to watch the kids for a couple hours so the two of you can take care of each other, even separately, just protecting that time
Mhm.
to help your partner get connected to themselves. That's a
Yeah.
true partnership,
Take
I'd
some
say.
take some micro actions towards your partner.
Towards your partner. I like that. Micro actions towards your partner. Do you see that your partner is a little overwhelmed? Hey babe, guess what? I took out the garbage and nobody had to tell me to do it. Like shit like that. Like instead of like waiting for the itinerary or the agenda for the day that your partner gets stuck with doing all the time. Maybe their organizational skills are a little bit better than yours. But like, hey babe, let me figure that out for you. Let me get that for you for that day. Or hey, you know what? Let me check on the thing. And instead of being told or instructed to do something, just go do it. Or hey, you know what? Let me take care of that. Or hey, I noticed maybe you were running a little bit late. I decided to make you a lunch. Or oh, I made you your coffee while you were getting I heard you were getting out of the shower. Let me get your coffee. Here's your coffee ready for
Mm.
you. Like just little things like that to show your partner that you're caring and that you're paying attention. And I'll tell you what, those little things add up so much.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't nothing more than all them little things that make me wanna drop on my knees, baby. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah. And it goes both ways.
No, I know. If you're like, "Hey, I gotta do this thing," and I'm like, "Ooh, I will go make myself scarce, and I will go over there and do my thing and not get in your way and not ask you for things, or I don't need your attention 24/7." In other words, sometimes getting the fuck out of your way is my way of helping to take care of you.
Sure.
So, I mean, getting to know that and respecting the space and respecting that time and letting your partner know that you're there for them. Like little things like by, hey, I got special underwear today. They're probably not even all that sexy, but like, hey, you want to see them? Something
Sure.
flirty, something fun to let your partner know that they are still desired. Or hey,
Mhm.
let me smack your ass as I'm like walking past you in the kitchen. Are you flirting with your partner? And if you're not, why not? You don't like me anymore. They get annoyed. Well, then why don't you ask them? Sit down and talk. Are you talking without getting defensive? Are you listening to what your partner needs?
Yeah, and so often it does boil down to communication.
For
That
sure.
that is communication is where previous relationships of mine have failed.
Same.
Fundamentally. Other
Yeah.
Certainly there were other things as well, but communication was a fundamental failure of some of my previous relationships for sure.
Same.
And life can certainly, I know life can get away from you, and
Sure.
it's just like there's so many layers to this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And at the end of the day, what are you choosing? And I like that too, because you and I talk about choice all the time.
All the time.
I choose you every fucking day. I choose you again and again. And that's it. That's the simplest thing, right? And if I've stopped choosing you, like how long ago did I stop choosing you?
Mm,
Why? What's missing? What am I choosing now? Where am I right now if I'm not choosing you, right? So there are these, in spite of how overwhelming children can be, in spite of how stressful job responsibilities and money and all the things can be, communication is foundational. And it's I'm talking about difficult, painful, heartfelt communication.
challenging communication, like the
Yeah,
hard conversations. I mean, that's why we
the
decided
kind
to
of
do this.
conversations that you and I have,
Yep.
right? and the kind of conversations that you and I know how to have because we've been through it. You know, we've been through hell and back to get to where we are today, to get to this place where we can have these conversations together, right? And that kind of communication is everything. It's foundational. And what are you choosing? You know,
I choose you.
mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, are you going to choose to make your partner the bad guy? Are you the victim? Are you the perpetual victim? This hair is driving me crazy. Anyway, if any of you keep seeing me playing with that
Looks so pretty
fucking
though.
thing, thanks. Thanks, baby. We talked about risks in the last episode, and it's like, okay, like this guy feels safe enough that I'm willing to risk it. I'm choosing. I remember there was a couple of times where it was like, I am choosing to trust you. I'm choosing to trust you. You're not even asking me to trust you. I'm choosing it because I'm going to pay attention to what you do. I think at one point I said that. I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And you go, watch me. And I
Yeah. I
go,
remember that.
okay, you know? And I loved that. I was like, all right, he's very confident, this one. He's confident that he's going to be showing up and doing the things. Okay. Like, oh, and I'm like, I will stay to watch it.
Yeah. Well, again, because I've done the work. I know myself, and I know where my values are now. And I know what lines I won't cross anymore. I know what our relationship means to me, and I know how easy it would be to fuck it up, and I'm not going to do that. So yeah, fucking watch me.
Can't wait to see you. How many days? 4 days. 3 days?
Well, you said you might come on Tuesday, so that'd be like 3 days.
3 days. 3 days.
Tear it up.
So, I mean, I don't know. Did we cover what we were wanting to cover? It kind of like felt like it was all over the place. Although episode one was kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
it,
we
it
could.
was a little bit all over the place, but we have. I feel like we honored the idea of micro movements, micro behaviors, and did all sorts of offshoot like tangents from there. Brought it back again and again. We brought it back again and again.
I was trying to. Peanut butter.
There you go.
No, I mean,
there's some. Where are you like unsatisfied?
Let me take a look. I mean, there were some notes that I had. Maybe there's something else that we can add to the table as I put the glasses on. Okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Insecurity, needing validation, revenge. Ooh.
Talk about revenge.
Revenge, huh? So I think that's what comes from, well, I saw them flirting, so I'm gonna go fucking do it too. That kind of shit. Like that kind of like revenge. Oh yeah, well, you didn't do this thing around the house or whatever. So guess what? I ain't gonna do it either.
It's kind of petty, isn't it? And it's
so petty.
It's coming from hurt.
Yeah. What is revenge? What made you, what kind of example? See, to me, that seems like revenge. Like, I'm going to make them suffer because they made me suffer.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, like, you didn't do the laundry. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to wash your underwear. Which I've done. I was a really petty bitch in the last relationship.
Well, that's a slippery slope too, that's again, that's communication. And like, at what point did revenge start becoming a thing, and why? What inspired that?
Some people like take it like beyond petty.
Sure.
And the petty is the micro movement, right? The petty is the micro movement. So before it turns into this big, huge thing that you want to seek revenge for.
Yeah, it starts. It's resentment. It's yeah, a little bit of hurt, a little bit of resentment that goes undiscussed, and then it's one more and one more.
Resentment is a poison. That's why having these conversations ahead of time, or even like, so here's my challenge for people. If you catch yourself doing any of these micro movements, show them this episode, show your partner this episode, have a conversation, open up that conversation and be like, I felt like doing this, or I was really attracted to this woman and it made me want to do these things. And without going crazy, be like, okay, thank you for coming to me with that. It makes me feel like shit that you were thinking these things or wanting to do these things, but I appreciate that you came to me with these. So what do we want to do about this? What are we missing in this relationship that you felt like you wanted to do this and actually care about, The partner that's thinking about doing the micro movements or doing the micro movements and catching themselves before it turns into anything else, if they come to you, don't make them feel bad. Don't shame them for coming to you. They're
Mm,
trying to be open to you and talk to you about it. Like, it may not feel good. It may be incredibly uncomfortable
sure.
and it may hurt.
Yep.
But your partner is coming to you and saying, "Hey, I've been feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing that I've been noticing
Mm-hmm.
things outside of our relationship, and I wanna talk to you about it, and that sucks."
Yeah.
It takes so much bravery to be open and honest and
Mm-hmm.
come to that other person to be like, "I know this is gonna hurt you, but this is important enough that I need to talk to you about it because you're my person."
Yeah. It takes
And
tremendous courage, and it,
so
it,
much
it
courage.
takes a tremendous amount of respect for both parties and their relationship.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to hurt to hear these things. Yeah, it's going to suck. And the conversations that follow are probably going to suck too. But it is the better option by far, far.
Well, right. I mean, like, if you've already gotten to that point, if you're opening up the communication for that and you have those conversations and you're talking about it, then maybe have better communication throughout before it even gets to that point. And be like, "Babe, what does fidelity look like to you? This is what it looks like for me. How are we aligned in this? Like, can we talk about that? Like, do you think flirting is like a thing? Like, what is the limit?" Like, each individual couple needs to have that kind of conversation, and they don't
No,
until
because
they're
it's
already faced with
because it's
something.
uncomfortable.
I mean, you and I had some really interesting conversations to figure out, like, who are you?
Sure.
Like, and I remember, not to put all of our stuff out there because I'm not, but it's like, "Listen, if that's something that you feel like you need, I'm probably not the woman for you." And you were like, "No, no, it's like just a thought." And I was like, "Listen, if that's like a thing that like," and I think it was like that was our first weekend together.
Hmm.
And it was like, "All right, well, like, if that's what you need. That's not me." And then you're like, "Oh, well, that's not something that I need." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
It's not
well,
a it's not a need. It's an idea.
it's an idea." And so when you have those conversations, and it's also funny because I showed up to that conversation going, "This is who I am and this is what I want." And I am totally okay at that point not getting together with you.
Mm.
Like, I don't know you. This was a lovely experience that we just shared and it's amazing and I would love it to continue, but like, I'm cool. And you were like, "Here's where I'm at." And I'm like, "Okay, well, this is how I feel." And we went on and was like, "Okay, let's get to know one another and really discuss, like, here are these things that we want in relationship and like, are they aligned?" And all of them were aligned when it came to this is the kind of relationship that we actually want.
Yeah, and that ties into one of the questions I asked at the beginning of our conversation today. It's like, who did you actually fall in love with?
Mm,
Was it just the pretty girl that caught your eye? That
mm,
you want to just have her and tell her whatever it is you need to tell her to get her to stay?
mm,
Or do you really want to get to know that person inside and out? Do you really want to invite the kind of relationship that is perhaps beyond anything you've ever experienced before?
mm.
That's what I wanted with you. Here we are.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hmm.
It is. It's beautiful. I mean, that's why we're agreeing to do this. It's so early on in our relationship. I have faith
Hmm.
in us with how we show up for one another and it's like there's no end in this. They're all
What do you mean?
goals. I have goals, but I don't have the end goal.
Okay. I'm
It's the
picturing the end goal as, a happy, adventurous, life together, full of joy and deep communication.
Well, no, but that's like the continuing on. That's like the journey. There's no like for okay, so where I'm going with it, a lot of women feel this way is like marriage.
Okay.
Marriage is an end goal and it's like it's
Well,
fucking not.
sure. And that's why it's a stereotypical thing that women will get married and then let themselves go
Mhm.
because they've reached their end goal, right?
Men do it
And
too, please.
I'm sure men do it too. But I think women are more famous for doing that.
Women are more famous for physically letting themselves go, but men let go of the mask. when they get married. They stop trying.
Mm,
Just like women do, but just in different ways. Men still want to be attractive to other women.
sure.
Married women, we generally didn't really care that other men were attracted to us because, we were married, so we can let ourselves go. I know, I've been there. We're so overwhelmed that we let ourselves go because I'm too busy doing everything. Even as a stepmom, taking care of your kids, paying all the bills, everything was, so it can be incredibly overwhelming. From my experience, men let themselves go because they stop trying to pursue the woman once they have her.
Yeah. They check out. Yeah. Been there.
Yeah. So women are more notoriously because of the physical, because of the standards that are placed on us.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing that we notice. Your ass is fat. She let herself go. Or are you tired because you don't have mascara on? And you're like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am,
Mm,
But yeah, men pursue. And then once they get the pursuit, they stop pursuing.
mm-hmm.
And don't ever stop pursuing me in pursuing my response. And I will not, we already talked about this, but and I will continue to you. Just because I have you doesn't mean I have to stop wanting to attract you and be pursued.
Hmm.
I want you to
You
pursue
don't
me.
want to, the minute you begin taking something for granted,
Yeah.
kind of over.
Right. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I've been there, done that. You and I have had these dynamics in other past relationships to know, okay, you keep pursuing me. And here's the thing. If I'm having a shit week, because it happens, and I'm in my pajamas and I'm not wearing the makeup, hey, baby, I notice you've been having a shitty week. You are a beautiful thing. Let me take you out and show you off. And instead of do you wanna do I made reservations. Put on a nice dress, baby. Let's go out. I want to show you off. I made an appointment for you to get your hair done. I made an appointment for you to go get pampered so I can take you out.
Sure.
And show, hey, here's a gift card to fucking Nordstrom. Let's go get you some new shoes, baby.
Yeah, don't give your partner another choice to make. Just
do it for him.
Do it.
Yeah, it's just do it. And then I'm laughing because I want so badly to go into another topic, be just suck his dick. Why'd you stop sucking his dick? Do you not want to suck your partner's dick? And if you don't, why not? Why? Because he ain't showing up and he's not making it all hot and heavy. Did he stop doing things for you, sweetie? Did he? Because if he stopped doing things for you, yeah, I ain't gonna want to suck your dick. Anyway, stay tuned for episode 3.
It's been on the table all along. It's coming faster than we thought. That's what she said. Here we are.
And here we are.
Episode 3. Just suck his dick
Just
already.
suck his dick. And if you ain't sucking his dick, why not? And dudes, if you ain't flicking the bean with that little appendage you got inside there, then why not?
Little appendage.
Listen.
The tongue.
Yeah.
The finger.
Yeah. Any appendage will do. Just
take your pick.
Just play with it.
Appendage. Yes.
A toe. We don't care. Just
whatever you got.
Whatever you got going on there. Take care of that shit. Learn where it is. Find it. Do something about it. Dear criminy. Where were we?
I've totally forgotten now. Well, we were talking about the example that you gave was a partner having a shitty week and being all moping around the house or whatever, and just having a crap time of it, and the other one can take the initiative and be like, hey, I got you something, let's put on something nice, we're going out, whatever it is.
And if your man's having a bad week, and
just suck his dick. Fuck.
It's
not rocket science.
So make him dinner and then give him a blowjob. You're pretty.
Men are easy. Fuck.
Men are pretty easy.
Make that man a sandwich. Suck his dick. Fuck.
And if you don't like sucking his dick, and if he's not asking you or insinuating that you suck his dick, maybe you're not very good at it. And so did you ask him? What do you like?
That's communication too.
All comes down to communication.
Yeah, have the have the fucking balls to talk about, these things that might make you uncomfortable, things that are you may find difficult to talk about.
Yeah.
That's something that I love about you. Honestly, you're very easy to talk to,
Thank you.
and like even things that I would find difficult to talk about with someone else, right, are easy to talk about with you, and I love
Likewise.
that. It fosters deeper and deeper communication.
Yeah.
Right. I find it easy to talk about things with you, or you'll blurt something out that'll be like, "Oh my,
Which
cool. Let's talk about that." It makes it so easy to talk about more and more things.
I'm a communicator. I'm a Gemini. I like to communicate. Mhm.
So do I.
Yeah, you do. I love that about you. I mean, and the thing when I do blurt out the things, which I can't even think of an example right now. I'm like afraid to ask for an example. But when I do blurt out things and you're like, "Okay, let's talk about that." You're open to talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I think this is what it comes to is stay curious. Like it's easy. I would say it's easier for us at this point because we started off this relationship in this way of always remaining curious,
Mm-hmm.
having an understanding that we are going to come to that person with difficult stuff or challenging things. We have that understanding already, and even when things can be challenging, it's like we just remain curious about one another and be like, so tell me about that, rather than taking it like as a personal thing that I need to fix for this person.
Sure.
Like, tell me about it. And if you're in a relationship for a very long time and you've lost your spark and you've lost your way and you're feeling, and I think that's part of the reason. I mean, that is part of the reason why we're even doing this, is because we want to help people communicate. Go to your partner and tell them you're terrible at blowjobs. Or I don't like when you do this, and stay curious about one another. Have an understanding, be like, we need to talk about sex life. We need to talk about our communication in bed. We need to talk about our communication in life. We need to talk about one is usually a reflection on the other. Usually, not always, but usually. So if you're lacking in that intimacy department physically, you're probably lacking in emotional intimacy too. I mean,
Sure.
it's everybody's different. Fill in the blank for yourself. But have the pre-conversation first, the micro conversation, if you will, to stay on theme, but have the micro conversation first and being like, we need to talk about some things. We need to get connected. If you want to go to therapy, go to therapy. But really, it's just being open with one another and not accusing one another of things. The
Mm.
problem is the problem. Your partner isn't the
Mm.
problem. I love that
I love
quote,
that too.
from
I love
I
that
think it
we
was
had
Michelle
that.
Obama who said that first,
Yeah.
that I got that quote from.
Okay.
The problem is the problem. Your partner is not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, is like, it's not me against you.
Hmm.
It's us figuring out how to get past this problem. It's us against the problem. It's not me against you.
Yeah.
And if you're
And
yeah.
it's not you who needs to change to satisfy me.
Right. It's the what can we look at together and come up with solutions together, and what's going on, and it's going to be some hard conversations, and it's going to be like, why didn't you tell me this 10, 20 years ago, this whole time? And rather than internalizing this thing, that this person, why don't you celebrate the bravery of finally being able to come forward and talk about these things and be like, I am so glad, like, it makes me feel shitty that you didn't talk to me about this thing for however long. I appreciate that you came forward to talk about it now. What can we do? How can I help support you? And what can we do to work together? Like, what would you like? What would I like? And rather than having revenge and being like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't like this thing. Bitch, this ain't about you right now. This is about this person coming to you with a thing. So let's one solution at a time.
Mm.
And then when that seems to be resolved, then it's like switch it up. Be like, is there
Well,
something that you
one
would
layer
like?
at a time,
Yeah.
right? There may not be like an immediate solution,
Right.
Maybe solution isn't even the goal, just understanding,
Mm.
right? It's like it counterproductive or problematic to consider to go into every conversation with the idea that you must produce a solution. Maybe the conversation in and of itself is the necessary thing, right? It produces understanding, and you may not get to a solution immediately,
Right.
but you can understand each other better. And you can in doing so, you're creating a little more emotional intimacy, you're creating a little more depth, you're creating just a little more trust, right?
Well, I guess the solution is the communication to all of it, is like, let's talk about this and not to one another. Let's get
Hmm.
curious about one another.
Yeah.
Let's be like, I want to know you. There was a thing that I saw. There was like a reel. God, love all the reels that come up on my algorithm now. There was a reel, and I don't know if the story was true, but I think it was great, of this old man. It was like, "Oh, you've been married for 60 years. So how did you make it work with your wife for 60 years?" And he was like, "Because I never assumed that she was always going to be the same person,
Hmm.
that people were constantly changing. And so having the accusation of you're not who you used to be." Well, no. Good. You shouldn't be who you used to be. This is why remaining curious about your partner throughout all the seasons of life that keep moving forward and ahead is like, I want to get to know every version of you
Hmm.
as we move forward. And I'm going to
Yeah.
share with you the evolution of me
Hmm.
as I'm moving forward in my life. And hopefully, the two of us will push and pull one another to grow together. Because when you remain curious beside somebody that you love and you grow, like you allow their growth to propel you or to inspire you,
Hmm.
if your partner isn't inspiring you in some way, then what are you doing to inspire them? If you're not, I just think like watching somebody grow and evolve and be passionate about life is just so inspiring. And so if I'm not inspired in that way, then my partner's probably going through like a slump. So then what am I doing
Hmm.
to inspire myself? And then as I'm inspiring myself, you're going to get inspired and be like, "Whoa, look at her. I'm going to be sparked and inspired to go do some shit too." And like, look at her being herself.
Hmm.
I'm going to go be myself too again, like if I lost myself.
Sure.
And you're like, "Yeah, go be yourself." And then you're like, look at him go. It's awesome. Yeah, baby, I got you. Like that's so cool.
Hmm.
Like, I just think, like, cheering each other on and supporting all of the different versions of your partner as you 2 are growing together is a part of all those little micro movements that you're doing. Ooh, bringing it back. All those little micro movements that you're doing to remain curious about your partner, to remain together with your partner, to remain present with your partner, and you're in it together. I mean, like, if I didn't start this relationship to be like, let's just see where it goes. Sure, one day at a time, let's see where that goes. I know where I wanted to go. I'm incredibly intentional when it comes to this relationship, and so are you.
Hmm.
We're very intentional together on what we want. And so if you don't have what you want isn't aligned together, then how do you get back there?
Hmm.
Maybe you don't.
That feels like it's a very
Oh, it
broad
is.
statement.
It is a very broad statement because can't really pigeonhole anybody,
Hmm.
because
In the
they don't
moment, I'm
have
not
that example.
sure, like we are intentional about our relationship, and in the moment I'm not sure if I could so easily define what it is that I want exactly.
I mean, you've defined it for me, to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. A life partnership. And that's what I want. So that's my intention
Okay.
as I keep moving forward to this. I mean,
Maybe maybe I was overthinking that one.
it may have been.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that. I want a life partner. I want somebody who's going to do this with me, who's going to show up with me. Like, it's very, very intentional. I know what I want. So do you. It is aligned. All right, great. Let's work toward it.
Yeah. No, and I loved what you were saying about inspiring each other and encouraging growth and evolution, and also giving each other the space to do that.
Mhm.
the space to explore. It could be the case where you fall in love with a person as they are in that moment, and then they start to change and grow in ways that perhaps you feel threatened by or that you just don't like,
Mm.
and then you try to make them remain as the person that
Mm.
you saw in the first place, which is incredibly unfair and unrealistic. And when you think about it, it's like, if I fell in love with a version of you,
Mhm.
that version of you is my interpretation of what I've observed.
Mhm.
It's not really you, and it never really was, to a degree.
Mhm.
It's what I see. It's how I feel and how I interpret all of that. And I paint this picture. I have this idea of who you are or who you were back then. And now suddenly you're not that, right? Is that even you changing, or is it me? Like, who's changed? Who is changing in that scenario? you know, you know what I mean?
I'm
So
like, if the you in this dimension was like a different you in a different dimension, and I don't know if those anyway.
mm. But I
No,
think it
yes,
it aligns
I
with
appreciate what you're
how we
saying.
both feel and what I've said to you again and again, which is that I want you to be the most that you can be. I want you to express your full Amy-ness all the time, and
You get all the Amy-ness.
I love all the Amy-ness.
Nah, good. I
Mhm.
love all the Jonathan-ness.
Mhm.
I mean, I want you to have everything that you've always dreamed of for
Mhm.
yourself. And I wanna support you in any way that I can without forgetting who I am.
Mhm.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I will cheer you on. I will support your endeavors. I do all the things that I can do to be the best partner that I can be and the best support that I can be so you can grow and the world can know who you are
Mhm.
because you deserve it, because you're worthy of it.
Same.
Yeah, I support all of that in you, and I gotta also do it for myself
Mhm.
and do all those things and pursue the things that I love and take that time for myself to do those things, and then also we take the time to evolve together, and that's what I'm saying, like, staying curious about one another rather than just assume things. And I'm not saying that, like, everybody has some assumptions on some things, open your damn mouth and be like, I feel different. I feel like I want to change something in myself. And if you have this open communication with your partner, if you have these open communications, and I love that you said micro movement toward your partner, then you won't be going away from your partner. Instead, you're going to be going toward them and being like, what can I do to support you? What do you need? Tell me more about that. Instead of like, stupid. Who gives a shit if you think it's stupid? If your partner is interested in it, doesn't mean you got to take it up too and do it too. But support them, cheer them on.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not actually stupid,
Well,
or like, sometimes ideas are dumb and they need to be called out.
well, I wasn't thinking about any of those. I was thinking about some ideas are dumb. I'm like, my chair got caught in my little thing here. Some ideas are dumb. My
I mean, honestly,
goodness.
if I like, I take your point, right? I love where your heart is with that comment, right?
Thanks. I appreciate it.
However, for sake of argument, if I come to you and I say, "Hey, babe, guess," I'm all excited. Guess what? I think it'll be a fucking amazing idea to take every penny we've got between us and invest it in this, in I don't know what. I can't even come up
Beanie
with something,
Babies.
Beanie Babies, or just come up with the
No
dumbest
offense
fucking
to all the
thing you
Beanie
can
Baby
ever.
correct collectors out there.
Sure. I'm
No, that's not what
you
I'm
know, I
talking
I would
about.
I would hope, for the sake of our love and the integrity of our relationship, that you might say, and hopefully in a nice way, you might say, let's think about this.
Okay, well, okay, of course, that would be a really dumb thing.
That's
However,
what I'm saying.
what I'm talking about is that if somebody is passionate about something, like they want to start a new spiritual practice or they want to start something personally for that, or hey, I'm going to go back to school. or I want to do something to better myself, not spend all our money on Beanie Babies. Listen, if you're a Beanie Baby collector, I feel for you. They're really cute. And I'm not going to spend my life savings on a bunch of Beanie Babies. The point is, yes, of course, you need to call out some dumbass shit that's going to happen. And what I'm talking about is not that. Okay. I'm talking about if somebody wants to do something that actually supports their evolution into knowing themselves and making themselves a better person. Like, I want to do yoga. And if you're the type of guy, which you're not, but if there's the type of man that is like, what is stupid, like, don't be raining on their parade because they want to better themselves. Why don't you go join them? Even if you don't feel like it all the time, take an interest in the things that your partner is doing to better themselves.
Agreed.
I was just imagining, because we can edit this out. I take an interest. You put a Beanie Baby on your boner. Here's an interest.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. We were talking about Beanie Babies. Anyway, the point.
I mean, what color would the Beanie Baby be in that scenario? Wow, you really have thought about that. A yellow Beanie Baby.
Yeah, with blue ears or something. Listen, look, I don't even give a shit about Beanie Babies.
Violated by a fucking yellow Beanie Baby with blue ears?
You're taking an interest in your partner's interest. You're curious.
I am curious.
You won't suck my dick.
Get the fucking Beanie Baby involved. Now I'm very curious.
Maybe this is how I get you to suck my dick. Put the fucking Beanie Baby. Will that work now? This went on a whole other.
I mean, the fun parts.
Well, I'm like, would we have to edit or censor Beanie Babies so we don't get sued?
I mean, we're not saying anything bad about Beanie Babies.
I mean, we did have them on a dick.
That's our personal choice.
Well, that's true.
The Beanie Baby is not the problem with that. The Beanie Baby is not the problem in that scenario, is it?
The problem is the problem, not the Beanie Baby.
Okay. Well, maybe we should wrap it up because we're getting a little crazy.
I like it. I like
enjoying it also.
I think it's cute. I think we said some good things.
Yeah.
I mean, we should probably be prepared next time.
Yeah, a little structure would probably go a long way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So let's get into that,
It's kind of fun to watch this evolve, though.
Episode 3.
And we're doing it.
Yeah.
And there'll be some cohesiveness. Like, we got some subject matter going.
Yeah. Well, what are we, an hour and 40 something now?
Yeah, almost
2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
Yeah, so I mean, some fucking useful content in there too, and there's going to be a shit ton of fun clips to have as well.
All right. Well, I will stop
some
this.
Clips about sucking dick. You can have some clips about Beanie Baby fetishes, and you can have some great clips of us like disagreeing about things or stuff like that. Clips of us laughing and all of that shit. It's all good stuff. It's fucking all good stuff.
It is all good stuff.
Yeah, and for next time, maybe a little structure would help.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay, do it.
I love you.
Too.
So 2. It's a wrap.
In the bag. In the Beanie Baby.